So query from Thane, Maharashtra, clinic income and expense sheet maintenance, inventory management, appointment scheduling. Now, these are not pain points. These are full-fledged topics on which I have multiple, you can say, media available in the form of blogs and videos. But anyways, I'll try to answer in short whatever I can in this ways. So clinic income and expense sheet maintenance. See, the expense sheet is based upon your consumables and your fixed expenses or your assets, I would say. So some of the equipments that we buy are our assets. Some of the materials that we buy are our consumables. Repairs, even for example, somebody gets a compressor repaired and you can say a new head is put into there, a new motor is put into there. That is not to be counted as an asset. That is to be counted as an repair expense only. But if you buy an RBG, a CBCT, you can say an endo motor, or maybe you can say any such gadget, it is to be counted under the asset side. Now, the difference between asset side and the expenses are taken in full. The assets are accountable for about 10, 15, 30, 40, whatever they are accountable of the expenses in that year, or maybe sometimes even half of this. What is that? This is known as their wear and tear value or the depreciation of that. So you don't put in the whole charges for the assets or the equipment that you buy. You put in only a portion of that, which is we call as depreciation. Also for expenses or the materials that you have bought, you put in full charges and maintain your expense sheet based on asset and in that. Now clinic income, when we talk of, you may have various heads: cash, GPay, PhonePe, Paytm. You may combine GPay and PhonePe and Paytm into one, and then NEFT, then IMPS. Again, IMPS can be combined with the GPay and all that. So you make various heads where you receive the payments in that format. And of course, expense sheet I've already told you. Inventory management. Inventory is to be managed like a two-bin system, where you firstly need to know what are your annual consumption levels, what are your monthly consumption levels for that material, irrespective of the patients. The average has to be put in. You need a buffer stock for that. For example, you have something, you can say, for example, your glass ionomer cement, the normal bonding, you can say glass ionomer GC1. For example, if you're using GC1 anyways have been short, but I'm just giving an example for you to understand this. So you are using GC1 and you have 2 packs of that. You are situated in an area where you are getting things after a lot of difficulty. Then you need to keep a buffer stock of that. For example, your GC1 with a decent work lasts you about 2 to 3 months. Then you need to make an order when the last bottle of that is opened up. But if you're situated in an area, a tier 1 or a tier 2 town, where you just call up the dealer and it delivers to you next day, or you can say 2 days later, then you can have an alternate way of maintenance. So inventory management is a task that is entirely dependent upon your consumption levels. You decide which things last you more, which things last you less. Appointment scheduling, of course, this needs to work out as per your ability to treat how much patients in how much time. I always believe strictly in the scheduling part, courtesy, you can say, the principle of the Pareto principle of 80-20. So the 80-20 principle says that we need to prioritize those 20% patients who are giving us 80% of revenue. So if you are prioritizing those patients, they are to be treated in your prime time. They're to be treated when you are the freshest. And when you are the freshest, you will obviously, you can say, make more money in that times. And that for that, you need to know how much task you are going to accomplish in how much amount of time. That means that you are giving an appointment yourself. Of course, your receptionist will schedule it, your staff may schedule it, but you are telling that, okay, I need this patient at 9 o'clock. I'm going to spend about 1 hour 30 minutes on that patient. Keep a 15-minute buffer. The next patient I see is at 10:45. This is the way you plan it. The assistants or the receptionist may write it, but you plan it mentally first, and of course in sync with the availability of the patient as well. You know which task you're going to accomplish when. So of course it comes with a lot of practice when you are verbally able to calculate. So you can say I started absolute appointment scheduling from 2007 onwards, from April 2007 onwards. And trust me, till date, we're following the same system almost 17 years later as well. So it is a process which helps us a lot in increasing our efficiency and increasing our productivity. So I hope these three full-fledged topics get a reasonable justification from my side.